A quick video I hadn't thought I was going to make. I was just swapping an Arkfeld Pro for my own purposes, and I'd never done it before, but I heard people had done it, and now that I am almost done, I just want to give you guys tips. So let's take a look. So I've already got it apart, so you just have to imagine. But the first step is to get this bezel off, right? This bezel's pressed to the front, and all these things are inside. And there's no, let's say, easy way to do it, but the way to do it is to get this type of razor. Oh, it's not, I guess it's a razor. It's a utility knife razor blade. This is for like a box cutter. So don't get the little razor blades. Get the thick, big ones like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put this in your vise. So I've already got the bezel out, so I'm just faking this for you. But you're going to take this utility blade, like I said, and you're going to set it against one of the edges that is, you know, maybe look to see which one has the most space already. And you're going to set it in there, and then you're going to take a hammer like this. Let me come back a little bit so you can see. All right, different angle. Hopefully it's easier to see. So you're going to set this in the space, and you're going to set pretty flat because that's all you can do to get this edge of the utility knife in. And then you're going to go tap, 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 tap like this with a hammer, and you're going to hopefully move it a little bit. So go tap, 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 and then be on the other side tap, and then this side tap, and then this side tap, and keep going around. And then eventually you should get a little bit of wider space somewhere. Then when you do, now you're going to come in at an angle like this, and you're going to tap, 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 tap like this. And you're going to do that over here, over here, over here. And you keep going, and eventually it comes out. Now, when it comes out, the only other tip I'll give you is this. So there's a glass lens, and then there's an insert with the two optics, and then there is a gasket. Now, be paying attention to the direction everything comes out, because the optics are actually at a slant. Everything's at a slant. You want to maintain that, so keep everything the same orientation. Also, when you go to unsolder this MCPCB, you'll notice that, let's see if I can show you, there is a screw. Let me motion to it, a screw right there. Back this screw out. It won't come all the way out, but back it out before you attempt to unsolder, because that will let the MCPCB float a little bit, and then all the heat from your soldering iron won't be going into the light. It'll be going into the board, and you'll unsolder it easier. Now, once you get it out, notice that this is an Osram 3737. So I'm going to be using a 3535. This is a Fireflies Rosie 4000. That's what I'm going to put in there. So when you flow it, just know that it's a little janky sometimes. The 3535s do flow on a 3737 pad, but it's not perfect. So try not to use gobs of the quick paste, the chip quick SMD solder. Try to keep just, you know, it's, I don't know how to say it, but try several times. Make sure there's not gobs, so that when it's sitting kind of, you know, crooked, which it will, it doesn't, you know, short, and you know, you'll get a knack for it. So you'll get it on there, and then you reverse everything, put it in there, and it's a press fit, and you just press it, hammer it back in. I'll probably use a soft mallet. So, you know, again, I didn't go through every little step. I was just trying to give tips for those of you who have already been modding and have not done an Arkfeld Pro yet. One other tip is the board isn't clearly labeled as far as which side is positive and negative for the emitter. So when you get the emitter off, the positive pad is on this side over here, and the negative pad is on this other side over here. And do use your SMD tester like this, and touch to the two like that, and make sure you got a good flow, because as I said, it does sit a little wonky because it's 35 on a 37. So definitely test it before you install it. Remember how earlier I said that the optic is kind of at an angle, and that's for the purpose of the laser and refraction. But since the optic is at a slight angle, the glass isn't even, make sure that when you look at the bezel on this far side here, can you see how there's a ramp? So this bezel only goes in one way. So make sure you got the correct orientation for the glass. When you go to put this gasket back in when you're done, note that even the gasket has an orientation. Everything has an orientation. The bezel, the optics, the gasket. So notice that on screen left of the gasket, it's thin, and on screen right of the gasket, it's thicker. So I'm going to set it in this orientation like that because it slopes up. And when you go to put this in, what I found is the easiest way to do it is to just kind of shove it in there. Oh, I was off screen, sorry. Shove it in there a little bit like this, okay? Then use a tool like this with a flat edge. And then, let's see if I can do this while I'm using the camera. Pain in the butt. But you're gonna just kind of push all the way around. It flipped up, but don't worry. Push. Okay, so this is proving to be very difficult when I'm holding the camera with one hand, but that's what you do. Just push all the way around, and it'll sit in between the optic holder and the housing. So here's the finished result. As I rotate it, you'll see that the bezel looks pretty darn good. I did a great job. And this is my first rodeo. Another little tip I'll give you, though, is if you do chingus the aluminum, you can get aluminum black from Birchwood Casey and use that on there and turn it black again.